So in determinants, always we can expect a Cayley-Hamilton theorem, that is a matrix equation kind of solving A inverse, and here basically 4 mark questions will be asked from continuity, that is finding the value of K. So one question is basically on rate measure, so we can expect questions from the change of area with respect to circle, cube, surface area, volume of cubes, etc. One question from the differential equation will be on order or degree of the differential equation. Hello everyone, a warm welcome to one and all. This is your Shruti ma'am lecturing in Vidyashram, the Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. Here, we are here to present the question paper prescribed by the Karnataka board for 2nd PUC students. In this session, we are going to analyze the blueprint of your 2nd year syllabus and the question paper pattern. So, I have taken model question paper prescribed by the Karnataka board and we will discuss the solution of that paper. Now, let's take the type of questions and the number of questions you can expect in your final examination. So here you will be having 5 sections, part A, B, C, D and E. So under part A section, it carries 20 questions on 1 marks. So here it is divided into 15 multiple choice question and 5 fill in the blanks questions. So entire 20 questions will be of objective type question. So there is no options. You can clearly see the number of questions set is also 20 and number of questions to be answered is also 20. So no choices here. So overall in the part A sections, you will be getting 20 marks. Now part B section carries 2 mark question. So where 11 questions will be set, but you're supposed to answer any 6 out of 11. So overall 12 marks from part B section. Next you have part C. So here it's a questions of 3 marks. So here also 11 questions will be set and you're supposed to answer only 6. So total 18 marks. Next under part D sections you have 5 mark question. So 8 questions on 5 marks will be given and you're supposed to answer any 4. So clearly you have a 50% of choice option here. So 20 marks from this section. Next under part E, a 10 mark question will be given. It is divided into 6 mark and 4 mark section. So you will be having 2 6 mark question where you are supposed to answer any 1 and similarly 2 4 mark questions where you are supposed to answer 1 question. So each 1 question from 6 marks and 4 marks should be answered. So here total you will get 10 marks. So you can clearly see the number of questions in the question paper will be 52. So leaving the choices and the other questions, you are supposed to answer total 38 questions from the entire question paper. That is the total marks, maximum marks you can write as 80. Now let's take a look at the chapter-wise weightage of this with the blueprint here. So here you can see from the chapter relations and function. So 1 mark 2 questions you will be having. So 3 mark 5 mark questions. So total 10. So inverse trigonometry 2 1 mark, 1 2 mark, 1 3 mark. So 7. Matrices 1 1 mark question, 1 3 mark and 1 5 mark question. So total 9. Determinants 2 1 mark, 1 2 marks and 1 5 mark question. So total 13 mark question. So continuity and differentiability 2 1 mark question, 1 2 mark question, 2 3 mark question, 1 5 mark question and 1 4 mark question. So overall 19 marks from the chapter continuity and differentiability. Next we have application of derivatives. So here you will be having 1 objective, 2 2 mark question, 1 3 mark question. So total 8 marks. And from integrals 2 1 mark question, 2 2 mark question, 1 3 mark, 1 5 mark, 1 6 mark, overall 20. Next application of integrals. So you have only 1 questions on 5 marks. Next we have differential equation 1 1 mark, 1 3 mark, 1 5 mark question. So totally 9. Vector algebra 2 1 mark, 1 2 marks and 2 3 mark questions. In total 10 marks. 3-dimensional geometry 2 1 mark question, 1 2 mark question, 1 5 mark question. So total 9 marks. Linear programming 1 1 mark question and 1 6 mark question. So overall 7 marks. Finally, we are with the last chapter, probability. So here 2 1 mark, 2 2 mark, 1 3 marks. So overall 9 questions. So the complete question paper will be set for 135 marks, where maximum marks you can attend as 80 out of 135 marks. So now we plan for the question paper. That is, you can clearly see the chapters relations and function, matrices, determinants, continuity and differentiability, integrals, application of integrals, differential equation, 3-dimensional, geometry, contains 5 mark questions. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I told you under part D section, 8 questions will be given. You are supposed to answer only 4 questions. So you can clearly choose any 5 to 6 chapters. So where you feel those questions are easy to study, so those questions you can choose, and rest of the chapters no need to study 5 marks, 6 marks questions, because none of the questions will be asked from inverse, application of derivatives, and here also you can see from probability, linear programming and vector algebra. So no need to study 5 mark questions from these chapter. So look at the blueprint here. So the only 5 mark questions you have from these 8 chapters. So you can plan thoroughly, and maximum you can attend any 4 out of these 8 chapters. And coming to 6 mark question, clearly you can see we have a 6 mark question, one from integral. Basically, they'll ask you the properties of integrals, that is proof along with one simple problem. Next, you have one linear programming problem, that is solving linear equations graphically. So it's always better to go with linear programming problem, because most of the students are thorough with it. So you can clearly see, so one integral question and one linear programming problem under 6 mark. So you have to choose any one. Next, coming to 4 mark questions, there is a 4 mark question only from determinants and continuity and differentiability. So here also you have to attend either determinants or continuity and differentiability problems. So in determinants, always we can expect a Cayley-Hamilton theorem, that is a matrix equation kind of solving A inverse, and here basically 4 mark questions will be asked from continuity, that is finding the value of K. So you can choose any one chapter, study it thoroughly, and you can attend 4 mark question from these two. And coming to multiple choice questions, since you do not have any options for 20 marks, you have to be thorough with all the chapters. So similarly, we can see 2 marks and 3 mark questions under all the chapters. So you can plan whichever chapter is easy to study and plan for 6 questions from 2 marks and 6 questions from 3 mark sections. So now, this is the second PUC model question paper 23-24 prescribed by the Karnataka Board Education for second PUC students. And here the question paper code is 35. Maximum marks you can attend is 80. And maximum number of time you can utilize is 3 hours 15 minutes. So now instructions they have given. The question paper has 5 parts, namely A, B, C, D and E. Answer all the parts. Part A has 15 multiple choice questions and 5 fill in the blanks questions. Use the graph sheet for questions on linear programming problem in part E. Now here we have part A. So answer all the questions 15 into 1. So it's a 15 multiple choice question. So we can clearly see, so these 2 questions are from relations and function, 1 question from inverse trigonometry, next 1 question from matrices, 1 question from determinants, 2 questions from differentiability and continuity, next 1 question from application of derivative, next we have 2 questions on integrals, next we have, so here we have 2 questions on vectors. Next we have 1 questions on 3-dimensional geometry, 1 question on linear programming problem and 1 question on the probability. Now under the fill in the blanks section, you will be given options in this form. So there will be 6 options, but there are only 5 questions. You need to choose the proper answer between them and fill in the blanks. Now here, under the fill in the blanks category, you will be having one inverse trigonometric functions. Next, one question on matrices, one question on the differential equation. Basically, they always ask order or degree of the differential equation under 1 mark. Next, we have three-dimensional geometry. So the questions on perpendicular, so that you can find the value of k, is most expected question. And one simple problem on probability. So find the proper values and fill in the blanks. Next, under part B section, answer any 6 questions. So you will get 12 mark question. So let's look at the questions. That is the order of the question. One inverse trigonometric question. Find the equation, that is determinant. So basically from the determinant chapter, so either finding the equation of line or finding the area of a triangle. Next, dy by dx, that is a simple question on implicit function. So next we have 2 questions from the application of derivatives. So one question is basically on rate measure. So we can expect questions from the change of area with respect to circle, cube, surface area, volume of cubes, etc. Next, a question on local minima or maxima of a given function. So these are 2 questions from application of derivatives. Next, we have partial fractions under 2 marks here. So that is from integration. One definite integral problem. So 2 questions from integration. Next we have projection of a vector under 2 mark from the chapters vector. So basically scalar product will be asked under 2 mark question. Next we have angle between pair of lines in 3-dimensional geometry. So you can expect as a question from 3-dimensional geometry. Next we have the probability, that is the conditional probability question, and the probability on the independent event. So these are the 2 questions you can expect from probability. Now when we look at these things from question number 21 to question number 31, so clearly plan for the sections whichever you feel easier to study and attend any secs. Always attend extra questions for better results, because if you miss with any one of the values, they always choose the best 6 question out of the questions you have written. Next, under part C section, answer any 6 questions. So 18 marks from this section. So let's see the chapters. Equivalence relation questions from the chapter relations and functions or compulsory question. So here they have given mod A minus B is even. So they might give you any question to check whether the relation is reflexive, symmetric and transitive, or they might ask you to show that the given relation is an equivalence relation. So this is a compulsory question from this section. Next, you have the simplest from inverse trigonometric function. So here you need to substitute the value of x with any trigonometric functions and then reduce this into simplest form. So here simplest form is in the 3 mark question from the chapter inverse trigonometric function. Next, expressing the given matrix in terms of symmetric and skew symmetric. So basically under 3 mark question, so you may get theorems on matrices, that is uniqueness of a matrix, or symmetric and skew symmetric matrix, or AB whole inverse is equal to B inverse A inverse. So apart from the theorems, the question they might ask you is this. So expressing the matrix in the form of symmetric and skew symmetric form. Next, here we have 2 questions from differentiation. So one is with parametric function and other is with logarithmic function. So these are the most expected questions from 3 mark, that is application of log on the functions when you are differentiating and a parametric function form. Next, you have a question from application of derivatives, that is basically on increasing and decreasing function. So you are supposed to find out the interval where the function is strictly increasing and decreasing. Next, you have a question on integration by parts. So one question under integration by parts will be given under 3 mark question. Next, from the chapter differential equation. So you are supposed to find the equation of the given or the formation of differential equation with the given condition. So this is using variable separable method. So you have few statement problems in variable separable method. So that questions can be expected for 3-mark question. Next, we have 2 questions from the chapter vectors. So clearly you can see this is a section formula using vectors, a most expected question, and 1 question among the unit vector perpendicular to the vector a plus b and a minus b. So that is basically 1 question from the vector product. Next, we have finally question number 42. So this questions is from Bayes' theorem only. So it's a fixed content for 3-mark question. Now let's take part D section, answer any 4. So you will get 20-mark question. So let's see what are the questions here. So one question, number 43, from relations and function, finding the inverse of x. So you have only one linear function to find the inverse of f. Other than this, they may ask you to prove the bijectivity of the given function. Next, you have 1 questions on operations on matrices. So here the property of distributive is given. So they might ask you to prove the matrix equation also, or AB whole dash is equal to B dash A dash kind of problems. Next, we have a matrix method, that is solving system of linear equation by matrix method. So here also the content is fixed only for matrix method. So this is also a compulsory question from part D section. Next, we have a second order derivative problems under 5-mark question. So hardly in your syllabus there are only 6 to 7 questions under 5 marks category in second order derivative. So prepare it well. Any 1 question you can expect from second order derivative. Next, we have standard integrals proof and application of the proof in problems. So here they have given the standard integral of the form 1 by x square minus a square, and hence evaluate integration of 1 by x square minus 16. Next, we have area of a region bounded by the ellipse from the chapter application of derivative. So this is the most expected question under 5 marks. So because there are only 2 parts, either area of an ellipse or area of circle. So application of derivative on ellipse is the most expected question. Next, we have the finding the general solution using differential equation. So that is the questions on linear differential equations. Next, a very important derivation, and almost we can expect 99% of this question from question number 50. That is, derive the equation of a line in space through a given point parallel to a vector, both in the vector and Cartesian form. So you can rely on this question also. So now when you look at the part D sections, so almost first half you will be thoroughly very well from quarterly test, midterm, preparatory until the final examination. So first 4 questions is almost practiced very much. So other than that, you can rely on the area of an ellipse and 3-dimensional geometry as an extra questions. So comparatively to differential equation and integration, the rest of the questions you can study well and write in your examination. Next, we have part E section. So part E section, as I already told, here you are supposed to answer any 1 6-mark question and any 1 4-mark question. So under 6-mark question, you have the proof of property of integrals and 1 problem related to this property itself. So if not integrals, then you are supposed to answer the linear programming problems under 6-mark question. So next we have a 4 marks category. So 1 question from the matrix and another question is from the continuity of the function. So that is the finding the value of k. So now in the determinants, the matrix equation is given, and using that equation only you have to find A inverse. So any question, whichever you feel easier, either determinants or continuity, you can attempt. So now we have discussed the model question paper. Let's see the solutions of this model question paper. So in this session, I'll discuss the solutions of part A section, that is the objective questions. So now answer all multiple choice question. 15 into 1 is equal to 15. So first one, the relation R in the set 1, 2, 3 is given by 1, 2 and 2, 1 is. So clearly, when 1, 2 is in the relation, 2, 1 is also in the relation. So among the options, reflexive, symmetric, transitive and equivalence relation, clearly it's symmetric. Next, if f is from R to R defined by f of x is equal to x power 4, then the function f is 1, 1 and onto, many 1 and onto, 1, 1 but not onto, neither 1, 1 nor onto. Clearly, f of x power 4 in the set of real number is neither 1, 1 nor onto. Next question, the principal value branch of cot inverse x is minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, from 0 to pi, between 0 to pi. So basically, one objective question from the chapter inverse trigonometric function contains the domain range of the given inverse trigonometric function. Now here, since they have asked for cot inverse x, so it is from 0 to pi. Next question. The number of all possible matrices of order 3 cross 3 with each entry 0 or 1. So when I say 3 cross 3, there are 9 elements in the matrix. So each entry has 2 options, either 0 or 1. So how many entries? We have 2 entries in each place. So that is 2 into 2 into 2, which is 2 power 9. So 512 is the answer. Hence option D is the right answer. Let A be a non-singular matrix of order 3 cross 3 and determinant of adjoint A is 25. Then a possible value of determinant A is 625, 25, 5, 125. We know that the property determinant of adjoint A is equal to determinant A to the power n minus 1, where n is the order of the matrix. Now, according to this question, order of the matrix is 3. So, we have here determinant A square. Now, in the place of determinant A square, they have given 25. So, therefore, the value of the determinant must be 5. Hence, option C is the right answer. Next question. Which of the following x belongs to the domain of the greatest integer function f of x? That is integral x 0 less than x less than 3 is not differentiable. So, we know that the greatest integer function is discontinuous at the integral point, and when we strictly x lies between 0 to 3, obviously the only possibilities of the domain is 1 and 2. Next we have, if y is equal to log 2x to base 7, then dy by dx is 1 by x log 7, 1 by 7 log x by 7, 7 by log x. So from the property of logarithms, so log a to base b can be written as log a by log b. So this can be written as log 2x by log 7. So keeping 1 by log 7 as a constant, if we derive log 2x, then it is 1 by 2x into 2, because it's a composite function. So 2 and 2 get cancelled. So the answer is 1 by x log 7. Option A is the right answer. Next, the point of inflection of the function y is equal to x cube is 2, 8, 1, 1, 0, 0, minus 3, minus 27. So point of inflection means where the derivative of the function is 0 and the function never changes its shapes from increasing to decreasing or decreasing to increasing. Now here when you observe the graph of x cube function, it is clearly increasing at this point. So from here to here, it doesn't change its direction. So clearly 0, 0 is the point of inflection for the function y is equal to x cube. Hence option C is the right answer. Next, integration of sine 2x dx. We know that integration of sine ax plus b form is 1 by a cos ax plus b. So therefore, it has to be minus cos 2x by 2 plus c. So among the options given, options B is the right answer. Next we have 10, integral of e power x 1 by x minus 1 by x square dx. So we have a property that integration of e power x f of x plus f dash of x dx should be equal to e power x f of x plus c. So clearly when you observe this function here 1 by x can be considered as the function, then minus 1 by x square becomes the derivative of 1 by x. So here f of x is 1 by x. So the option should be in the form of e power x 1 by x plus c. So here among the options e power x 1 by x plus c is the correct answer. Next we have, if theta is the angle between any two vectors, vector A and vector B, then A dot B is equal to magnitude of vector A cross vector B, then tan theta is equal to 1 by root 3, 0. So when the dot product and scalar product or the magnitude of the scalar products are equal, then the value of tan theta should be equal to 1, because we have here cos theta will be equal to sin theta. Therefore, tan theta value should be equal to 1. So, among the options given, option A is the right answer. Next, we have unit vector in the direction of vector A, 2i plus 3j plus k is. We know that A cap is vector A by its magnitude. Now, if we calculate the magnitude of this vector, it is 2 square plus 3 square plus 1 square under the square root. So that is 4 plus 9 plus 1, which is root 14. Now vector A is 2i plus 3j plus k. So clearly among all the options given, option C, 2i plus 3j plus k divided by root 14 is the unit vector of vector A. Next we have, if the direction cosines L, M, N of a line are 0, 1 by 2, root 3 by 2, then angle made by the line with the positive direction of y-axis. So L is the angle made by positive direction of x-axis, M is the angle made by positive direction of y-axis, N is the angle made by positive direction of z-axis. So here we have L is equal to 1 by 2, that is cos beta is equal to 1 by 2. So we know that cos 60 degree is 1 by 2. So therefore the value of beta should be 60 degree. Next, in a linear programming problem, the objective function is, as name itself says, we know that the objective function is always linear because the degree of the variables are 1. So clearly option C is the right answer. Next, if A and B are two non-empty events such that P of A conditional B equals P of B conditional A and P of A intersection B is non-empty, then A is a subset of B but A not equal to B, A equal to B, B is a subset of A but A not equal to B, probability of A equals probability of B. If we use this condition using conditional probability, then this is probability of A intersection B by probability of B. Here probability of A intersection B divided by probability of A. Since this is not equal to 0, it clearly gets cancelled. So if you take the reciprocal of this, we'll get the answer option D. Next we have fill in the blanks by choosing the appropriate answer, those given in the bracket. Answers are given as 0, 1, 4, 1 by 36, 7, 1 by 6. So the value of sine pi by 3, sine inverse of minus half. Sine inverse of minus half can be written as minus sine inverse half. So when we take minus here, the value becomes sine pi by 3 plus sine half, which is pi by 6. So 60 plus 30 is sine pi by 2 and the value of sine pi by 2 is 1. So 1 is done. Next, the square matrix A is singular if determinant of A is 0. When we say that determinant A is 0, when it is a singular matrix. So therefore the value is 0. So it is done. Next, the order of the differential equation d power 4 y by d x to the power 4 plus sine y triple dash equals 0 is. So one question from the differential equation will be on order or degree of the differential equation. Now here the order is 4. But when I say the degree, it is not defined because here dy by dx is not free. It is not in the form of polynomial. So it is inside sine function. So therefore it is not defined when it comes in case of degree. But here the order is 4. Next we have two lines which are perpendicular. We need to find the value of k. So it's a question from 3-dimensional geometry. We know that if we take the dot product of vector b from the two lines, it should be 0. So when we take the dot product of these two, we get k into 1, k, minus 5 into 2, minus 10, 1 into 3 plus 3 should be equal to 0. So from this, we'll get k is equal to 7. So from the options here, 4 and 7 is covered. So now 1 by 36 or 1 by 6. The probability of obtaining an even prime number on each die when a pair of die is rolled. So the only possibility of getting this ordered pair is 2, 2 because only even prime is 2. In both die, if I have to get, then the ordered pair should be 2, 2. We know that when a pair of dice is rolled, the total number of outcomes are 36. Among them, favorable outcome is only 1. So therefore, the option is 1 divided by 36. Hence, this is the option. Now, this is the extra options they have given. So here you will be having 6 options, but only 5 answers are correct. So now, in this session, I have discussed multiple choice questions. I'll meet you in the next session with the solutions of part B and part C. Until then, keep watching, keep learning, and keep exploring. Thank you.